Don't you find that out there? So let's just indulge me. Let's just, for 10 or 15 minutes, pretend that this really matters, this election and this choice. Well, let's look at the facts. What's the first thing football coaches do before they start practice for the coming week? They look at the game film. They look at how they did the week before, what their strengths and weaknesses are. What's the second thing they do? They look at their opponent's game film to see what their strengths and weaknesses are. Then, based on what they see, the real raw materials of evidence, they come up with a strategy. Now, when things are important to us, that's what we do. So, I want to respectfully suggest, based on an hour a day of study on this, even though I'm no longer in the White House, traveling all over the world, looking at economies everywhere else, traveling all over America, looking at the economies of America, that there are only three things that really matter in this election. Where are we now? What are we going to do now? Who is more likely to do it? The rest of this is all smoke and mirrors. I can entertain you with jokes about witchcraft and wrestling and former governor in Colorado, and apparently within 5 points says that he doesn't care what anybody says. He knows President Obama's a Muslim that took Christmas out of the White House. And when you're pointed with the White House Christmas tree, he said, "See, that's just what I told you. Look at all those hidden Muslim symbols." I mean, I can make you laugh about that. That's not what matters. What matters is, where are we now? What are we going to do to get out of this? And who is going to do it? That is what matters. Do not be confused. Where are we now? Well, when President Obama took the oath of office, it was only 4 months after this financial crisis, which triggered the biggest drop in our GDP since the Depression. But just remember, this country was in trouble before that crisis. That's when our party won a majority in Congress in 2006. In 7 years and 8 months before the crisis, they produced 2.5 million jobs. In the previous 8 years, when I had the honor to serve, 22.7 million, 10 times as many. In the 7 years and 8 months before the crisis, they took a $230 billion annual surplus I left them, paying $600 billion down on the debt, a plan that would have gotten this country out of debt entirely by 2015, and they doubled the debt of the country again before the meltdown. We lost jobs in every month of 2008 and homes to mortgage foreclosures in every month of 2008 before the meltdown. Then the meltdown happened. Now, to listen to the other side tell it, Patty Murray and President Obama are responsible for every bad thing that happened in America from the instant he took his hand off the Bible, taking the oath of office. Why don't you try getting behind the locomotive going 200 miles an hour straight downhill and see if you can stop it in 10 seconds. This thing did not bottom out for 6 more months, till about July the 1st. So what does the game film show? It shows since that low point, the United States has recovered 70% of its lost gross domestic product. How's the competition doing? Germany's recovered 60%, Japan 50%, the United Kingdom 30%. In other words, if you live in the real fact-based world, we're not doing too bad against the competition.